What's going on, everyone? It's time for another classic film from the 60s. Another film review. This is a historical drama I'm going to be talking about today, and it's called A Man for All Seasons. It was released by Columbia Pictures March sometime in 1967, and it stars Paul Sofield and Robert Shaw, and it was written by Robert Bolt and produced and directed by Fred Zinnemann, who has also done High Noon, From Here to Eternity, The Day of the Jackal, and The Nun's Story, to name a few of the films he's done. And so, yeah, this is a historical drama of there's a young guy and he's trying to convince the Pope. I think he's like a secretary or something like that of Britain, and he's trying to convince the Pope to let Henry VIII marry his Spanish-born wife, and they're opposed to it. And then there's a huge conflict going on. So there's like treason involved, and a whole lot of rough happenings happen throughout the story. This is based on a play, and like a lot of historical dramas are. And yeah, this film is really well shot. I love the whole backdrop of where they filmed everything and stuff like that. It really brings the colonial aesthetic to the film, and that it makes it look really nice. And the cinematography and stuff is really good. The acting is very well done in this as well, and it was well written and directed. There's a lot of good positives for this film. Yeah, it is a historical drama though, so it can get pretty slow at times. There's a lot of it's really dialogue heavy. Like a lot of 60 films are dialogue heavy, but this one in particular is quite the dialogue. But it's very they really ramp up the tension a bit, especially when the one dude is advocating for Henry VIII to get married and stuff like that, and the one who's facing treason and all this kind of stuff is put into jail, and he then with the help of some not so loyal guards and stuff let him talk to his family and stuff. You really get to feel the emotional impact of the whole family going through this tough ordeal, and the brutal of the rule that's going on, and it really makes your heart wrench basically, and it's very compelling and interesting to see characters actually do that and to move you in a story that way, and you don't see that very often nowadays, and I thought that was really cool. But there is a lot of scenes in it where, in my opinion, it bogs down and is just a slow crawl to the point. Which sometimes they do that for either pacing reasons or other reasons, but they could have chopped down some of the dialogue just a bit to make it a little more cohesive, I thought. But overall, it's a really interesting tale on something a little different than like your standard Henry VIII movie, like I thought it was going to be. But it's definitely more complex and concise in the storytelling, and it's definitely an interesting film to see. But if you're not into like this is a really big drama film. So if you're looking for like something a little bit more like action conflict, you're not going to find it here. This is more like the Pride and Prejudice style drama and things like that, where it's just like an emotional and heart-wrenching ride through this dramatic events going on. There's conflict, but there's not like actual physical conflict. It's more verbal and just more vocal type conflicts going on. So yeah, for people who are looking for like a little more medieval fighting and stuff like that, it's not in this at all, and so you might get thrown off by that. And then but for the period drama freaks out there, this one is definitely a really good one. It's not super high tech or anything like that. There's nothing. It's pretty standard, really well fleshed out characters, well shot, well acted, and then I just thought some of the dramatic elements were played out, drawn out a little too long, which could messed up the pacing a bit to make it feel like a little bit of a drag in certain spots. But for the most part, it is a really good story and a really well done film. So with that, I'm going to give A Man for All Seasons a 4.5 out of 5. Yeah, it's definitely one of the more interesting drama films out there. I don't really visit them too much because I'm not a huge fan of them, but every once in a while I'll check one out. So yeah, but that is what I thought of A Man for All Seasons. There's a trailer link down below, like always, if it sounds like something you're interested in. That's linked down below. Also linked down below is my Instagram. That's where I always post clips of films I'm going to review in the future on my stories. I have the film title hashtag and sometimes I'm filming hashtag, so you're aware of it. And my Letterbox is also down below at Derek P Reviews. That's where I post my first star rating right after watching the films. Yeah, so follow me on one of those two channels to stay in the loop. Like this video, share it so more people are aware of it. Comment your opinions of the film down below if you have any. And if you have any other dramas, film franchises, or any films in general that you want to hear my opinions on in the future, comment those down below too. I'll try my best to get to them as soon as I can, and if I can find them. So, yeah. And make sure you subscribe, because hopefully you'll find something weird, obscure, and odd you never thought of checking out together, or so you hear my opinions on popular films that are coming out at the time, or classic films like this one, and reviews on other things as well. So make sure you subscribe, and don't forget to ring that bell, because we got one more musical from the 60s to review, classic film, and that is the 1968, I think it is, version of Oliver. Yeah. It's hit and miss. I heard mixed reviews from it. I've never actually watched it all in full, so I'm gonna check that out and let you know my opinions on it probably in the next video. So yeah, make sure you ring that bell, tune in for that one, and yeah. But A Man for All Season was quite the well done drama film, way better than I was expecting it to be. I was actually expecting it to be quite the drag, but yeah, it was definitely one of the better ones. So check it out, and watch out for all those crazy higher up government officials committing treason. I guess I'll see you all in the next film, and hopefully it's as good as this one. So till then, cheers.